There are many things to consider when planning your network for your home. One of the first important things to consider is how many devices you're going to be connecting to your home network. The more devices you have connected, the stronger network you're going to need, and also the better internet signal quality you're going to need. For a home that has 10 or more devices, you're going to look at getting an AC network, which is the newest standard of technology. Another really important consideration when building your own home network is security. Leaving your router password as the default can lead to a big security risk, as many hackers can easily get into your home network and take advantage of your data. By coming up with a strong password, you're protecting yourself from any kind of minor intrusions into your network. One final note about important things to consider for your home network is speed. If you're the type of person that likes to download a lot of content, watch a lot of movies via streaming devices, or use a game system, speed is going to be a very important concern of yours.
Satellite networks are a relatively new invention compared to the typical on-the-ground networks that we've had since the 1960s. Most of us have seen the commercials for satellite internet targeted towards people who live in rural areas of the country. While that's definitely helpful for people who live in the middle of nowhere, satellite networks aren't limited to just providing internet to farmers. Most modern mobile networks, for example, utilize satellites, and many of the new cars on today's market that come equipped with Wi-Fi are connected to satellite networks. Satellite networks are wonderful for on-the-go connectivity, but they also have a couple of big problems: cost and difficulty of maintenance. As you may know, satellites are incredibly expensive, and a satellite's position in space makes it a lot harder to fix if something goes wrong. Think about it like this: if you have a really big dog and he sits on the router in your house and breaks it, it's not a big deal. You can go grab the router and try to fix it yourself, or you can drive 15 minutes to the store and buy another one. But if your satellite gets hit by space debris while in orbit, you're either going to have to send your maintenance man into space or buy a whole new $1 million satellite. Of course, satellite networks aren't all bad. They're more secure than typical networks simply because they aren't as common. Anyone can figure out how to break into your home router, but only a few people have the skills necessary to hack into a satellite. They also can't be affected by ground level issues, such as building fires or floods that can damage equipment on Earth beyond repair. It's really hard to have a flood in space, after all. So if you're thinking about starting up your own satellite network, be sure to have plenty of money in the bank, because you're going to need it to buy equipment and fund repairs. But you'll also be able to connect to your network from anywhere, and you won't have to worry about it being affected by power outages or environmental disasters. It's a great idea in theory, it just hasn't quite made it there in practice yet. Hopefully we'll be seeing more from satellite networks in the future.
Wireless in business environments is sort of controversial because some argue that it is beneficial for companies to use within a certain mile radius, and some argue that it is just not secure enough. The background video explains how wireless between high-rise buildings work. In real life, the buildings would not be so close, but the way the video is describing how wireless works will help you understand my concept. If you read the slides at the beginning of this video, you will notice that there will be extra hardware to purchase, the main component being high-powered antennas. These antennas send and receive data to remote sites similar to the way Ethernet or fiber does. It is stated that wireless will be less expensive than leasing T3 lines between branch offices, but the price of high-powered antennas can come at a hefty price. And what if it goes down if it gets struck by lightning? Business class wireless solutions are great for small businesses and local businesses, but are necessary in cities where underground cable isn't an option. In my opinion, I would not go with the wireless solution. If your business is located in a tall, high-rise building in the first place, then I think you can afford to pay extra for fiber T3 lines. The biggest problem with wireless between buildings is the problem of hackers. With accessible radio waves, hackers will have extra potential to try to gain access to the business. You don't necessarily hear about this nowadays, but when wireless was first introduced in the early 2000s, war driving was popular. War driving was when potentially harmful hackers would drive around to different areas of cities to try to locate wireless frequencies. Encryption standards were fairly weak, so it was easier to gain access than it is today. In the future, I believe most things will be wireless, but hopefully by then, signals will be strong and wide enough to reach extra long distances with encryption standards at their highest.
Hello, my name is Jose Cruz, and I'll be covering mobile networks with a focus on how mobile phones and these networks interact. A recent study showed that the US average for 4G download speed is about 9.9 megabytes per second. That's enough to stream Full HD video. With that speed in our hands and our mindset to get everything done, we do things such as online banking on our phones. Another advantage of mobile networks is their coverage. 4G is available to around 80% of the country. We use our phones for everything since they are now faster and have access to faster networks. Most phones have NFC, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and cellular connections. But how safe are these connections? Some are actually not very safe. In the past, Bluetooth allowed people to connect to other people's phones without the user ever knowing. This gave access to the intruder to text messages and other sensitive data. But new policies on Bluetooth and standards fix that issue. Should you use services such as Apple Pay and Google Wallet? Well, the process itself of using your phone to pay for a transaction is safer than using a traditional debit card and PIN number. But that doesn't matter if your phone is already compromised, being that you already have a virus or you're connected to an insecure network. Services such as PayPal require users to connect using their carrier's network instead of Wi-Fi. The biggest advice to get from this is that you should not connect to Wi-Fi spots with no password. If you connect to Wi-Fi networks other than your own at home, treat your phone like you would a public computer, and don't input sensitive information such as credit card numbers. Also, try to use passwords for everything. Try to use an antivirus in your phone and only use safe and validated applications. Mobile phones and their fast wireless networks has opened the doors for us, the users, to get more done. We just need to educate ourselves on how to keep our data safe.